What's up, guys? Alberto Big Boost here. Kendra's over there, David's over there, and we're gonna start working on the car again today. So this is the day after the first Rollcage video. I'm super tired because I finished editing the video like at 5 in the morning yesterday. So we're gonna go real quick to McDonald's and get some food and maybe coffee because I'm like super tired. Even though I drink coffee earlier, I'm still not awake. So we need to be fully awake to do this because we need to weld a couple pipes today, and we're gonna get a really cool order that I'm waiting on that we're making some space for right over there. You can see everything's clear out in that area. We're gonna fill it up later, and it's not happening yet, is it? McDonald's trip achieved. We got some drinks. We still don't have energy, but we're not hungry anymore. We have the rear bars right here. They need to be cut to length, and they also need to be notched. We have the notching machine right here, which is a nice, cheap Harbor Freight one. It works very well. But my Milwaukee drill works good. Then over here, I have some test pipes that I did. So I got this one with a 15-degree angle notch on it. I have this one over here with a 25-degree notch and one with a 45. You can see the profiles are different. So I'm using these little spare pieces so I can test notch them, line them up with the other. We line them up with the other pieces like this, so I'm able to determine the angle of notch that I need to do before cutting the actual pipe that I have cut to length so I don't damage it. That's a pretty helpful tool. I determined that the 15-degree on that pipe was too low of an angle. 45 was too much. 25 was close enough. So I dialed this to 28 degrees right now. So you can see it's like right there. So we're gonna notch the pipes to 28 degrees and hope for the best. I got the pipe set on the notcher. Now we blast this with a little bit of WD-40. Lubricates the cut. We take the grenade pin, and we do this. Done. Guys, check this out. Look at the fitment of this pipe. Notch right there, perfect. And then you look down on the plate, it's right center with the center of the plate. So we got our notch and length of pipe right on the money. This is it, guys. We got the rear bars half welded in. The main hoop is also like half welded in too. So now we're gonna break the weld down here, this little spot weld. I'm just gonna grind it off. Then we're gonna drop the cage forward, and it's gonna allow us to weld the top parts. Actually, no, I kind of got out ahead of myself there real quick. So we're gonna actually do the halo first, and then we can drop the cage. Are you guys ready to see magic happen? I'm not. Alright, weld is cracked. So that means the pipe is loose. And we can move the whole roll cage now. So we're gonna remove the front boxes. Now let it go. Now we slide the whole thing forward. Oh, it's hitting there. Alright guys, so we removed the bracket that holds the steering column in place. It's just sitting loosely here. Too loosely actually. And now we should be able to move the whole thing forward. I'm gonna try this again and remove this. And drop the cage forward. Slide it. Boom, the whole thing dropped. Perfect. Nice?
Of course.
Now you can see the bends that I did on the halo to raise it up towards the roof so the tube wouldn't be in my face. And my name just if the roll cage was to be welded just like this. You couldn't even see anything. It's a perfect opportunity to completely delete the bracket that was here holding the dash, so I no longer want that. So I cut it, but I do have to grind all the welds off. And now do that, paint it, that way I can put it back in the car. It's all nice and deleted and clean, ready to go. Everything is successfully welded on the top, so now we're ready to put the cage back up so we can start marking up the door bars. But it's also time to head out of here because it's really late. So we gotta get some sleep and come back tomorrow strong and see if we can finish these door bars and intrusion bars and maybe the center support bar. A lot has happened yesterday and today. Now we are at the stage where I am marking up the door bars. I mounted the seat. I have about the height that I want. I don't want this bar any higher than this, because otherwise it's gonna hit my elbow. Plus I'm also trying to lower the seat about an inch. So with my helmet on, my head doesn't hit the bar on the top. Or otherwise the helmet does hit it. My head doesn't hit it, but if I put my helmet on, it does hit it. So I don't want that hitting there, it's annoying. So I'm gonna lower the seat down a little bit. On top of that, I have the intrusion bars done, so they're pretty much gonna be like this. It's like a V-shaped thing, so this is gonna go to the front bar, then this is gonna go to the plate that I welded on the firewall. So this one's passenger, this one is a driver. They've been cut to length to each side, so they match perfectly like a glove. Lower door bar is on, so this is how I want my door bars to be like. I gotta get the measurement from here to here, so I'm gonna have 3 ladder bars. So one's gonna go here, one's in this mark here, and the other one's gonna go there. They're 10 inches apart from each other, so they have some pretty good rigidity right there. I did it almost too perfect that it literally slides there where I need it, right with a mark, but it won't go any deeper than that. So that one fits there. Now I have to make 2 more, one for here and one's gonna go right here. This is about 4.5 inches from tube to tube. This one's like super tight there. As you can see, I can take it off, but it's literally like basically wedged in there. So there's 0 gap to weld it. Wow, we have Janice notching the pipes and everything.
You see? I come here to help.
Look at your shirt.
Huh?
Look at your shirt.
Oh no.
It doesn't come off.
It's okay. Aquí está la Steven Spielberg. This video is gonna be amazing with this Steven Spielberg video production. Johnny's recording.
All the way.
Woo!
Watch out, don't get anything caught on your clothes or nothing, otherwise it will rip it right off.
We don't want that.
Start it before you touch it
Okay. Start before. Okay. It's too heavy.
I'm gonna start it and then you go on the one side of it.
Okay.
Like,
it's too heavy for me.
Make sure it's straight. You're putting a lot of pressure down. You don't have to put any pressure. Okay. Oh my God! Look at the.
What?
Look at it from this angle.
Did I mess it up?
It's angled. It's not straight. Oh, I got metal on me now.
Did I mess it up? It still works, right? Because we're still gonna cut it with the notch.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll find this out. 0. And then let's see how much this side is. 10. 10 degrees.
So here I'm teaching Joaquin Jr. What's the name?
Michael.
Michael. I'm teaching him how to do it because now the apprentice.
How you went from apprentice to teacher?
Oh, you see,
This is all too soon. You just started on the job.
1 minute.
So
I think I made a mistake. I put this in all the metal shavings.
So we'll clean it.
Put that there for now.
A little bit back and then put your hand down there. There you go.
In less than 10 minutes. Can you believe that? Look at her go. We have all 3 pieces of the ladders done, so now I'm gonna weld them in place. I have the angle gauge there, so I make sure to weld them exactly at 90 degrees so they're not crooked. And then, yeah, we're just gonna get it to welding real quick and get this out of the way so we can then do the other side. And then we can do the crossover bar, and then we got harness bars and dash bar and intrusion bars. Here we have my assistant, Mr. David, holding the dashboard up. And you can see the dash obviously doesn't fit because it has to be trimmed in order to fit around the tube. Same thing over here. So I already did some measurements, and the dash literally bolts here to here, right? So this has to be all the way up here. From here to here is 5 inches. We go straight line. We draw this right here, so I'm gonna cut out that part, and hopefully the dash will fit. Now on the other side, it does land right by where the vent is. So the vent's probably gonna have to go unless we just trim the very corner of it. Another major update, we have our door bars done. We have the intrusion bars done. The cage is fully welded on all 6 points. We have our diagonal bar, we have our dash bar, we have our halo. All we're missing right now is just the harness bar from here to there and from there to there. And then last but not least, the gussets. Well, a little bit of trimming. Dashboard fits perfect. I got this to sit pretty flush with the piping right here. The vent's gonna have to go. Obviously you need this opening to be able to slide the dash in place. Then the other side actually came out a lot better. So it pretty much made a straight cut, and it falls right on the vent hole. Guys, the rear firewall panels came out so good. Thanks to Mr. David for awesome cutting over there. Check this out. Now we have the rear completely blocked off. Obviously I can't block this one because the wires and stuff for the third brake light go there, so that's an exemption. But this, they make bolt-on plates for this, but this came out so much better. So I have everything tack welded, and then I'm gonna use automotive seam sealer and seal everything else. It's gonna be all sealed up and ready for paint. Then I got the harness bar welded in, so the rollcage is pretty much completed. The only thing I got left is just the gussets, which I wanted to make my own gusset with a Swag off-road gear gusset makers, or the dimple die thingies, these guys right here. But unfortunately they're too big for the measurements that I have. I don't have enough spacing between the A-pillar and the tube, so I'm gonna use these prefabricated gussets that I have from Injuku, which are these guys right here. As you can see, I have 2 inches wide on one side and 2.5 on the other side, so they're gonna be cut really close to the dimple dies, to the dimple holes, and they're gonna be 20 inches long. I can't wait to finish the last cut so I can clean this table, because check this out. We clean this every single day, and every day it turns out looking like this. Dirty or what?
Very. I'm surprised that the vacuum's not full.
Oh my god. Guys, I've been trying to remove these little clips over here that I guess they hold a stock floor mat or something to the car. No matter what you try to do, they either explode or don't want to come off. So we have to resort to this. We go like this, and we go yeah, and oh, wait. This roll cage has definitely took me forever to get done, but I can finally say we're done. It is 1 in the morning, but check this out. I got the roll cage painted, I simplified the wiring and it's almost back together. Obviously I still have a couple more hours to go, but I'm super excited to show you guys what the cage looks like now. First we get rid of about 5 more pounds of wire, and then we look at the cage. You guys ready for this? Behold the black hole of my car right now. Yep, it doesn't reflect barely any light. It's super dark. It was a mission to paint. I didn't know if you paint the interior black it was going to be that difficult, especially when you're trying to get around the corner. You can't see anything. It turns into pitch black. Even with a light shining, with the mist of the paint actually getting in the way, you can't see anything either. So you are kind of just winging it at this point. Now I did open up all the wiring harness. I took it apart. There's a bunch of dirt that came out of it, so it's like dust all over the car and everything. I'll clean that up later. But I don't have a bunch of spaghetti wiring anymore. I've been simplifying it a lot. I took that bunch of wiring out. There's a couple more over there, and now I know we're end up with this much thinner harness, which I'm still zip tying together, trying to close it up as much as I can. Then I'll wrap it, but it definitely cleans stuff up a lot inside this car. Now, even though this may look like just regular black paint, it's actually metallic. I couldn't help but put some pearl effect on it, so I actually got pearl all over the paint. Super nice. I didn't want to do something too shiny on this. You don't want the interior to be too bright and actually reflect sunlight on your face. I know a lot of people use white too, but I didn't want to use white because my car, well, is originally black, and painting the interior white, changing the color from original black would have been extremely difficult, and I didn't want to like have to spend that much time painting the inside of the car than it actually took me already. I actually spent a whole day prepping the car, then a whole other day painting the interior of this car. Here's how the top of the roll cage looks like. Everything's super tidied up in there. I did do this cage as simple as I could. I don't want to get too fancy. I just need the basics to meet Formula Drift specs. So this cage is built to meet Formula Drift Pro Spec 2023 specs, which is the latest revision. I will be adding some stuff on the trunk later. I went ahead and put the down bars on top of the wheel well, so it'll be also a lot easier to access over here in case I want to go with rear mounted radiator or mid mounted fuel cell or whatever. I have open area to play around there. That's why I did the down bars over here, so it's a lot easier to modify afterwards. Now before we leave, thank you so much Enyuka Racing for providing me this roll cage. You have no idea how much they helped me with reducing the amount of time it takes to design and bend a whole cage. It was a lot easier than doing it from scratch. I was able to give them some feedback about other improvements they could do to the cage and additional options they could provide for the cage. Condor Speed Shop sent me this really cool box right here. As you can see, it's going to go in the car on another video, so we're going to be working on that probably tomorrow. Then I have some extra material that I picked up at Aro to do the rear firewall and do something really cool with these bars of aluminum, which may involve that. Well, see you guys on the next video. It's been really fun doing this cage. It's also been really complicated. It's been a long couple of days. It actually took me about a week and a half to get everything done from start to finish. That means prepping the car, installing the cage, welding everything, simplifying the wiring, painting the interior, and to the stage that we're at now. My next private test day is on August 7th, so I have to get everything set up for the car before then. I still have to solve the power steering issue. I have to change the differential. I have some brake upgrades that I'm doing as well, and everything else in the car. So let's see if we can make it in time. For more awesome videos, smash that like button, subscribe for more awesome content. Alberto Big Boost here. And don't forget, guys, to keep making power.